How you doing?
Dad coming. Okay.
We're never gonna get it.
No, I'll get it in time.
Okay. Um, hey, this is Tyler Prather, and this is the episode 2 of the Seen It podcast. So, right, as you probably figured, we're talking about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny for this one. I, of course, have Andy Rather and Busty Toast with me again. And so,
Hey, how you doing?
How do you do?
yeah, so I obviously have the links for their YouTube channels in the description, and well, yeah, not much else to say. So this movie is
It
Wait,
sucks. No, I'm kidding.
we waited a long time for this. Like Crystal Skull came out 15 years ago, and only indie movie made by Disney instead of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas.
Should we real quick go over our thoughts on like all the Indiana Jones movies real quick? So
I kind of do actually. Just
yeah,
like
just to give the audience an idea of like our thoughts on it.
I mean, sure.
Right.
So like, okay, so Busty Toast, real quick, you go first.
Okay. Obviously, loved all of them. Crystal Skull was meh, and then this one, I kind of have mixed feelings on it too. I mean, I enjoyed some of the moments in it, and then I saw the other moments. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
what?
Andy.
To put it in order, one of like worst to best. 1, 2, 3. No, wait, 4, 1, 2, 3. To give
Yeah, I was supposed to say
like that
one.
order,
One's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, I got bored at like going to the end of one because I had already been spoiled about the ending. So I was just like, all right, can we get to the arc? The arc? Where's the arc?
Yeah.
So, but a 5 mixed on it.
Yeah. And then I would say, yeah, Raiders is awesome. Last Crusade is awesome. And then both Temple of Doom and Crystal Skull I at first didn't like, but upon rewatch, they're both much better than I remembered. So I would say all 4 of them are good movies. I think they are. So
Yeah. Oh, you think they are?
yeah. So now we have this. So I guess you guys mentioned. This might sound a little strong, but I kind of hated this one.
Oh, jeez.
It's like
That's it. I'm out of here.
the more as I was driving home, like the more I thought about it, the worse it got for me.
Yeah, I kind of got that same feeling, but like there were still some things I at least liked about it. Like I didn't like it, but I wouldn't say hate. Like I would put like it would definitely be under Crystal Skull, but like yeah, it was pretty bad.
Right.
People are comparing this movie to Crystal Skull because that for a long time that was the most hated indie movie.
Yeah.
And again, I actually liked it. It was a lot of fun, and I mean the aliens are a little weird, but I've learned to accept that.
Right.
And so comparing this to these 2 movies, I'm like, I'd rather watch Crystal Skull just because. And first of all, something I noticed this Dial of Destiny definitely. Well, I guess I forgot to mention too. We are going into spoilers too.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the movie,
Spoiler warning.
yeah.
How would you read my line?
Sorry. Okay. Anyway, but this movie kind of pulls a Rise of Skywalker in a few places with the way it'll look at the previous movie and like, oh, the audience hated that. Okay, we're gonna undo that. Crystal Skull ended with Indy marrying Marion. It was a happy ending for them, and we learned they had a son together. And I mean, I guess a lot of people hated Mutt, but I honestly thought he was all right.
He's better than Helen, to be honest. I hated Helen.
Helena?
Yeah.
Okay, but then you go to Dial of Destiny. They're Indy and Marion are broken up, and
I was so ticked off at that.
they mentioned at one that Mutt apparently died off screen, which actually kind of funny about that made me think of like he's played by Shia LaBeouf, Transformers 5 also did that, literally killing his character off screen. So
Right.
that's twice in 2 franchises.
Just, oh, you've heard of this guy Shia LaBeouf? Oh, let's just kill him off in Transformers and Indiana Jones.
So, and what did you think of like Helena?
Helena,
And-
Jesus, she was something else. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Lily, she can't like you figure out like, oh, like she's like, oh, she's her goddaughter and whatever. Like, oh, they're gonna be like rekindling their bond or whatever, like from God knows how long ago. But she turns out to be a money scrounging douchebag, basically.
Yep.
Wait, I mean, you're kind of not expecting it, but basically, when she was asking Indiana Jones or all about like all these questions related to basically what happened during the flashback scene, you're kind of leaning towards okay, so she's just using him. And then she obviously, which is weird, also towards the end of the movie where she's like, doesn't want him to stay in the past where basically Archimedes created the Dial of Destiny.
Like even then, like her reasoning was like, like she could have given him like told him like when he told her like I have nothing left. She could have told him you have me.
Like, yeah, there were a few dialogue options you could have.
Possible emotional moment with her, and then she just punches him in the jaw for a comedic moment.
I don't. Even if that did happen, I don't think I would have felt that. Just because I didn't. I guess
Right.
I didn't care about her that much. She
true.
really felt like they were trying to replace Mutt, like give Indy another young character, but this time make it a woman, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, like Mutt. Like, I mean, I guess Shia LaBeouf's career is messy now, but also like you could have just recasted him because I would have preferred seeing Mutt again, to be honest.
Yeah, like Mutt's a really fun character. Like the possibilities with him is there. Like, sure, don't let him be Indiana Jones. That's fine,
Like,
but
don't
like,
have him like take.
the mantle. Yeah, don't let him do that. But can we just have Mutt again, please?
I mean, you could have that happen, but obviously now since this movie's come out, it can't happen because he's proclaimed dead.
Yep.
So, what did you think? One thing I was thinking about was in the opening scene, though, because we see Indy being de-aged.
Right.
What did you think of those de-aging effects?
I mean, for certain, for most of the scene, it looked pretty well, but like probably during like some of the more action scenes, you can kind of see it's a little off.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it definitely not as good as like Marvel de-aging, like Nick Fury and Captain Marvel, but also like,
Right.
just kind of. Again, I guess I would say that it does look all right. I did notice the whole opening scene is super dark too. Like,
Yeah, you can barely see a thing.
like I feel like maybe that was intentional.
Get a flashlight here.
Yeah.
I need to see.
So, like, something I noticed too, for one positive thing, would being that I like train fights in movies. Just a lot of them are awesome to me. Brief fight between Indy and that other guy and that one Nazi is kind of cool.
How did
Right.
the professor not get more head trauma than he did?
Oh, and
Like he should be an idiot. Like
He
like,
should
you
he
had
should be
so
at least.
much- like that's a train going like what 80 miles an hour down a train track, and then out of nowhere this metal pipe hits this guy, dabs smack in the head. He should either be dead at worst or retarded at most.
hey, this is the same universe where you could survive a nuclear bomb by going inside a refrigerator. So
Yeah, but even that has some scientific backing, to be honest.
Right, but even also like speaking of during like the small little bomb that goes off inside the building where Indy's captured, he should have at least been severely burned, but nope, he just comes up unscathed and he manages to scallion free after getting the rope off.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like I was like thinking like, all right, I'm gonna bet that if Hishi does a video on this, they're going to like have him actually die because there were some moments where I was like, this should have killed him.
Yeah.
Right, but obviously we can't do that because Hollywood.
Yeah.
We got to keep certain characters alive.
I mean, I guess I kind of was gonna save this till the end, but I can't really think of anything else to talk about. The whole okay, time travel, man. They actually did go there. Yeah,
Yeah, they actually.
it's like
Why is time travel more like this? I know this is the same universe where it is real technically canon that in this universe there are gods that exist. Like you have the Hebrew, Christian, and Hindu gods all existing in the same world. Then you have aliens who created El Dorado, which was a mythical land in the Latin American countries. And
I think so.
why is time travel made by an ancient Greek more unbelievable than all that?
it is. It is. I'll say it. What I did actually look up what the Dial of Destiny is. Like, what is it based off? Apparently, it is sort of a real thing where it was a thing that was used to like map out charts and stuff.
Yeah, but not to dadgum time travel.
Yeah, like all the other artifacts in the other movies are based on real world things
And
but-
things that you can connect to its origin, like the Ark of the Covenant that wiped out the entire Nazi army. Well, that was in the Bible through the Old Testament. Then you have
Yeah.
Kaliah
and so on and so on.
Yeah, it's like they have mythical and realistic origins from the stories that they're told in. This has nothing. Like
Or I mean, there's some, but I
like the only
I don't
the
know.
only realistic part of it is that there was a dial that was made by Archimedes, but there is nothing like time travel-y about that.
They just got to use it to basically do try time travel. They're basically just taking pieces of history and being like, let's see. Oh, this looks like a watch and a compass. Time travel.
Yeah, like what is even the point of like going to ancient Greece in the first place? Like I've been thinking about that actually on the way home. Like I was thinking like wait, what was the point of going to ancient Greece out of all places? Like I understand the idea is that the villain screws up the coordinates and ends up sending them back to ancient Greece.
I think the point is they just wanted to go back to the guy that created the thing in the first place.
Yeah, but like
I
there
think
could
that
have been an emotional scene, and like that could be done. Also, how did the father figure out what the date that they would find the Archimedes sphere? Wait, the dial.
I don't remember.
Like he puts it like he writes down the date, the exact date of when they would find the dial, and how does he know? He only had half a dial. So there would be no way he could be able to time travel in the future.
Yeah, even with half a doubt, because you gotta have the full thing to basically travel with it.
Yeah.
Unless there's a plot point that we missed where he was able to time travel with it with half of a piece.
I doubt it.
I feel like you Busted Toast like barely talked. So
Well, Sparky over here has been rambling.
yeah. Is there like anything else you can think of to up the
There were kind of like a few scenes that kind of felt weird, especially with the kid flying the plane. I felt like, okay, why? What was the point in that he can actually fly and whatever? Like, okay, congratulations, what a cookie.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could have. It's weird that, but also, Helena abandoned him just to ride the motorcycle and catch up with him. He could have. I mean, she could have done that. It kind of makes sense just because so she can, try to stop the Nazis' plan. But I mean, they could have stopped it either way if both of them were in the plane. But it's whatever.
I know Antonio Banderas was in this movie. Which character was he?
He was the sailor guy, the Indy's old friend that died.
Oh, that was him. Shoot.
Yeah. Who
It
gets killed like.
It took me to the scene where he died to realize, oh, that's Antonio.
Yeah.
It's Puss in Boots.
They killed the Puss in Boots.
Nah, he'll come back as a cat. It's all fine. He's not dead.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of funny that also feel like also during like when they come back and whatever and manage to like kind of like rekindle their relationship. I was like, there she must have told him something to be get his wife or his ex, I should say, back together.
Oh, Marion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing I will say, the way Marion like held up her elbow, like this doesn't hurt. Like I noticed that was a callback to Raiders. And
Yeah,
that one
I
scene,
realized that.
I kind of liked that.
Yeah, that
but
was
I
a nice callback, honestly.
But I was also saying, thinking, I don't think you needed to break them up to do that.
Yeah.
Right. They could have just been together the entire time, and then you could have been like, Marion, I have to do this.
Yeah, literally. Just I don't know why. Like, dude, Harrison Ford is in his 80s, and Karen Allen is is like, I think I looked it up. I think she was like in her 70s, so I feel like she could have joined the mission. Honestly, the
Yeah.
adventure.
I mean, she
Right.
proved herself competent, even in Raiders.
All right, yeah, but I guess they just wanted to use her as a basically an ending point. Basically, like, oh, here's his ex. Let's see if we could get them back together.
Yeah. Man, so something else too. This movie was directed by James Mangold, who is most famous for directing Logan, and that was part of. I wasn't really excited about this movie, but the fact that he was directing did make me go, okay, I'll give it a chance, because Logan was obviously a great movie, like ending
Right.
story in a satisfying way. So, and he said, "Ooh, this is going to be the last indie movie." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Even though I felt like
Crystal Skull was a better ending.
like
Let's be honest.
I feel like Last Crusade was a more of an ending. The way,
Yeah, but like Crystal Skull had Indy become an assistant dean, which they weirdly didn't bring back.
oh, I forgot about that.
And they had Indy marry Marion, and honestly, like that, like in an old age, like that's a satisfying ending for the character. Like, yes, I understand that Crusades is a better ending by far to the story, but as a entirety to say goodbye to Indiana, Crystal Skull had a pretty good ending.
Yeah,
This was not that great.
like it's like they took away Marion and Mutt, and then they don't really give him. Honestly, I'm trying to think. Like they don't really give him that much to make his ending more
Satisfying, basically.
grand. Yeah, just kind of like the way that when the credits started rolling, it was kind of like, oh, I guess that's how we're saying goodbye to this character. Like, okay,
Right.
I mean, just him reconciling with Marion.
Like they could have at least had something to do. They could have at least had to do something more with his past besides his ex-wife, but I guess it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like they could at least, actually, now that I think about it, they could have like at least he could have gone down to his son's grave, saying how he misses him, he's proud of him and whatever, and then he could like basically takes off his hat and puts it on top of his gravestone. Like that could have been genius.
Yeah, that is actually really genius.
You just came up with that at the top of your head.
Actually, yes, I did.
That is a better ending than what we got, actually.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go work for Lucasfilm.
Yeah, go, James Mangold. Hey, I found a better ending than you figured out.
Sucker.
Yeah. I guess.
Why didn't they think of that?
Yeah, I guess honestly, I'm trying to think of other things to talk about, but there's honestly not that much. I guess something I'll say is all the 4 previous indie movies like are fun movies that whenever I watch them, there are always like action beats and like funny moments that'll make me crack a smile and all that.
But I mean, there was rarely any moments. There were a few moments that had us down laughing, but it wasn't near as like funny compared to like the other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I might have smiled at a couple cool action scenes, but for the most part, I feel like the whole time I was sitting there, I was kind of like, oh my, okay, this is still, it's a 2.5 hour movie as well. It is, I honestly did feel the long run time.
Plus,
Right, I did
there
too.
wasn't much like scenes that would make me remember it. Like I will always remember like the ant scene in Crystal Skull because like the ants like going into the guy like
Going on to that Russian.
yeah, like even going to his mouth as he's screaming in pain and dying, like that is dadgum. The ants don't look real, but I will remember that.
All right.
The fact that we don't have much to talk about this film kind of shows that there isn't much memorable things that we'll probably remember.
This is just kind of,
Hey! This is a new Indiana Jones movie for the longest time. What do you think about it? If it's bad, it's bad. It's good, it's good. Oh well, we're not making another one.
just kind of, it feels like Lucasfilm just kind of made this because, well,
I think they're running out of ideas, to be honest.
Okay, they have Star Wars, obviously, and that is struggling. We all know that, and I also know Lucasfilm also had a movie called Willow in the '80s. It had Warwick Davis in it.
Oh yeah, they made a Disney Plus show.
They recently made a Disney Plus show about it
it's bad.
that nobody watched.
Yeah, I watched it. It was pretty bad.
Did you see the movie?
No, but I saw the TV show, and even without the context of the previous movie, it was pretty bad.
Okay, so now they tried, like, kind of getting back up with another Indiana Jones movie, and box office wise, it's not doing very well either.
Disney's not doing that great. People are done with their like bold
Same routine.
not caring about the story. To be honest, they're just done with this film.
They're basically just telling the same old story with the different characters and whatever.
Yeah, just
with new ideas, basically, sort of.
You do know that like they announced a little while ago that they're making one of the Star Wars movies they're making, which is like sort of going into the Jedi's history, and that's being directed by James Mangold. After this, I'm like, I don't know if I want to see that, to be honest.
It's got to be like a mixed opinion, unless we go into that one thinking, oh, it's gonna be kind of horrible, and then like both critics and audience score is like very high. We're like, okay, a little bit more optimistic, but I'm still skeptical.
Yeah, just like I don't know. Like honestly, the origin of the Jedi too is something I don't know if I want to see a movie about that without George Lucas. Like I feel like that's something you need Lucas on.
Hey, I mean,
right.
George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were executive producers of this film, so
they are.
Yeah, so they could possibly come in as executive producers again for the Indiana Jones film. So there is that possibility.
I mean, it's up on the table at this point.
Yeah. So I guess score 10 out of 10. Like Busty Toast, what's your score?
Honestly, I'll probably give this movie roughly a 5 out of 10. Roughly, had its moments, but all in all, it was an okay film.
Yeah.
4 out of 10. Yeah, it's getting worse in my head, just like The Little Mermaid. It's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Oh, what would you rate it next? Like a few weeks later, what would you rate it now? 2 out of 10.
That's actually mine. Actually,
Ha!
2 out of 10. Yeah. Like I tried to think what is good about this movie. A couple action scenes, and that's about it. Well, actually, Harrison Ford's like obviously he's doing his best.
Yeah,
I'll say that. Like
For his age, he's doing his best.
like he's not like phoning it in. Like that's like he did the same thing when he played Han Solo in Force Awakens. He's at least not phoning it in. So
Right, he's just trying to stay to his character like he was in the first 3 Star Wars movies.
And Indiana Jones, yeah. So
and Indiana Jones, yeah. He's just trying to stay to his character as best as he can for his age. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe that's a little too low, but also I just can't think of that much else good things about it. I didn't like this one, and that's all I can say. Yeah.
Well, that's what we got today. So please check out all of our
Hey,
channels.
this is my outro.
Karen.
How dare you steal his outro?
I'm the thief.
Okay.
Take it away.
If you guys don't have anything else to say, I'm
I
guessing
know.
you don't. Bless his toast.
No.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, if that's it, I guess we'll wrap it up here. Obviously, thanks for watching and all that, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Sayonara.
Bye.